Let's talk for a minute about people who are married and are buying real estate in Arizona. I can't tell you how many times this comes up. Here's the scenario. You have a couple who are married and one spouse is going to be on the home loan, but the other is not. The question that the lender is going to ask is, okay, so you're married and you don't want your spouse on the home loan, but do you want your spouse on the deed of trust? There are two scenarios to address depending on that answer. Scenario one, the spouse is not going to be on the home loan, but is going to be on the deed of trust. If that is the answer, then you will prepare the purchase contract in both of their names because technically they're both buying the property. On the pre-approval letter, we will note that so-and-so is not going to be on the home loan, but so-and-so will be on the deed of trust, or the deed will be in both of their names. The second scenario is the spouse is not going to be on the home loan and that the person qualifying for the home loan does not want their spouse on the deed of trust either. In that case, here's how it works. And oh, by the way, we need to know about this early on in the process, right out of the gate. Because in this scenario, it means that the other spouse is going to have to sign a disclaimer deed before that loan can close. And depending on the situation and why maybe that person isn't going to be on the deed of trust, sometimes stuff happens. Keep in mind, people go through relationship stuff, and this isn't always as easy as it sounds. So if you're the listing agent and you're receiving a pre-approval letter where it is noted that the borrower is married and you can see that the lender does not have them on the home loan, but there's no commentary about the spouse being on the purchase contract or the preliminary title report or the deed of trust, then you want to ask about that up front and maybe require in the contract that the disclaimer deed by the spouse that's not going to be on the home loan, that's executed maybe during the inspection period. Because what you don't want is to get down to the close of escrow table and then that spouse refuses to sign the disclaimer deed. And guys, this stuff happens. So just understanding from a lending standpoint, especially in the state of Arizona, it's a community property state, which means the lender and the title company is not going to close unless that disclaimer deed is signed, assuming that the spouse is not going to be on the deed of trust. If you have questions, please post them below in the comments. I want to hear from you. If you have other mortgage topics you want to learn about, post those too. I'm a big believer in education, and so many people have the same questions. So let's come together and let's get this stuff out there. So be sure to subscribe to this channel as well. Until next time.